poi wraps, now what comes next? Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm showing you some things that you can do once you get into wrapping those poi around your body parts. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all of these amazing businesses and what they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I have down in the description of this video. And special thanks to non-business friends of the channel, Johnny Howard and Lain Mochinsky. Thank you both so very much for your support for my work and my mission. So I think I have a story that's going to sound familiar. It starts with somebody who's learning a poi trick. They put in a whole lot of work on it. Takes them, could be several hours, several days, several weeks, and then they have a breakthrough. They can do the trick, and then they look at all the other tricks out there and realize, I'm gonna have to do that all over again. Fear not, there might actually be some stuff that you can pick up now that you've already accomplished that one trick. Generally speaking, most poi tricks have a lot of variations on them that you can fairly easily access once you get the basic trick down. That's the purpose of this series. It's what comes next, and it's how I can help you get just a little bit more out of the work that you've already done. And this video comes as a request from Keith Wojciechowski. I don't know, I'm definitely not pronouncing that right, but Keith wanted to see a video dedicated specifically to wraps, which I think is a fantastic idea. I don't often talk about wraps on this channel, which is a little strange because they were a big part of my early poi journey. This was really the first method that I found to switch direction of the poi before I even got into stalls, and I think that they still have a lot of great uses to this day. And it should be said, those uses are many. This video should not be considered an exhaustive list by any means, but definitely several of the exercises and tricks that I first learned when I picked up wraps that I think you might be into. Do bear in mind that if you want to get really far down this rabbit hole, there's a bunch of glowstringers you should go check out, because glowstringers have really turned wraps into an art and a science, and we in the poi community are definitely way behind our glowstringer friends in that regard. So the first variation we're going to cover here is actually the one that I just thought looked the coolest when I first learned how to do wraps, and that is elbow wraps in split time same direction. The people who first taught me wraps did this all the time, and there was something about it that just looked so cool, especially when it was done on fire. I realized that we are at a different place in poi history than we were when I first learned this, but there's just something about the balance and symmetry of it that I think looks super cool. Now I know normally I throw a whole bunch of theory and a trajectory out there when I show y'all a trick in this series, being like, yes, this sets you up for this, or this teaches you this important skill. This one just looks cool, honestly. I mean, it's helpful for the next trick on the list, but yeah, this one just pretty much looks cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you that one once again, because I'm a fan, and you know, first year of spinning me would be proud right now. All right, so the second variation we're going to visit here is actually kind of a variation on the first one, but it adds a little bit of a twist, and this makes it kind of a tongue twister. Ha, see how I did that? This is an air wrap. So the idea here is that you're basically entering into an air wrap, but you're also aborting before the air wrap can complete and then exiting back out of it by doing those wraps around your elbows. It basically takes the first trick and adds another layer to it. And this one, you can find lots and lots and lots of videos online of people finding cool things that they can do with this. From bouncing only one poi at a time and using it as a timing and direction changing exercise, all the way up to doing some more intricate stuff with bringing the poi into inside planes that I frankly can't do. There's a lot of options here. And of course, if you're in a place where, say, you don't really have the exits on your air wrap solid just yet, you can totally use this as a placeholder, because if the poi just go right back the way that they came, the exit's going to be a little bit easier than trying to see through. Small tip, but hey, you know, if it helps you through, it helps you through. All right, so before I lay down my final pick for what comes next after you learn your wraps, I do have a huge favor to ask. If you've come this far, it probably means that you are into poi spinning and learning poi tricks, and guess what? That's the whole mission of my channel. So if you're having a good time and enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're the first to know when I upload a new video. And if you have a moment, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a comment with a request for another poi trick to use in this series for what comes next. Could be something that you've just learned or something that you want to learn. Either which way, most of the topics of these videos come from suggestions by viewers like you. So leave me one of those and help me come up with the videos that are going to help you through your journey. And now my number one pick for what comes next after you learn wraps. So this is going to sound kind of weird, but it is what I refer to as the coin flip exercise. And this doesn't make a lot of sense as you're watching it here, so let me explain. Okay, so basically here's how this works. If you've got the top and bottom wraps on both arms, you can put together a unique series of wraps that may never have been performed by anyone else before. Here's how. Take a coin and you basically coat it so that your head side is your left wrist and your tail side is your right wrist. Go ahead and flip the coin 10 times and write down each result, whether it be the left hand or heads or the right hand or tails. Once you have that sequence down, you get to go perform the sequence yourself. This is a great way to learn transitions going back and forth between when the poi are traveling in the same direction versus opposite directions, as well as doing timing shifts. Plus, it just looks really cool. And as I said, if you take this out enough places, this is more than likely an exercise that nobody has ever done before, simply because the numbers add up that way. So it's a fun little drill that I'm a big fan of, and that's why it is my number one pick for what comes next after you learn wraps. What did you think of my picks? Were there wraps that you wish that I had done? I'm fairly certain that there are. This might even be one of the first What Comes Next videos that I do a second volume on. So if you have suggestions for other wraps you'd like to see me cover, please leave me a comment and let me know. I'd really appreciate it. This video would not be possible without the kind support of all of these amazing people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. Do you like Flow videos? Do you like what comes next? Do you like my vlogs? Well, guess what? I am on a mission to try and bring poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies as creative individuals. So help me do it. Head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. You can do that either by clicking on the link that I have down in the description or by clicking on the card that just popped up if you're watching on YouTube. There you can get access to a host of awesome rewards such as early access to my content or getting an exclusive lesson delivered to your email inbox every week that's only available to my Patreon subscribers. So go check that out, and I hope you sign up. Please and thank you. One final note here, sometimes if, say, you have really hairy arms like I do, you might want to use some wrist coverings. They come in a variety of different types out there, and they look pretty cool in themselves, just because it'll kind of take care of some of the road rash that inevitably comes out of doing all these wraps. Just a suggestion. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to include a link to other videos in the What Comes Next series down in the description, as well as up on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Have yourselves a great weekend, get out and flow, and I will see you with a new video on Monday. Peace.